Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Ajaro. So I would like to explain about discourse grammar. What is discourse grammar? Discourse grammar is a grammatical framework that grows out of the analysis of spoken and written linguistic discourse. Discourse analysis and grammar study familiar terms like clause, pronoun, adverbial, conjunction, and attempt to relate them to a less familiar set of terms, them, rhyme, reference, and anaphoric, in order to make the link between grammar and discourse. Grammar from a discourse perspective. Discourse-based grammar makes a strong connection between form, function, and context, and aims to place appropriately and use at the center of its description. Larson Freeman stated that form, meaning, and use need to be at the basis of all grammatical descriptions. So, discourse-based grammar acknowledge language choice, promote awareness of interpretational factors in grammatical choice, and can provide into areas of grammar that lack explanation. The texture of a text. Hassan discussed two crucial attributes of text which are important for the analysis of discourse. There are unity of structure and unity of texture. Unit of structure refers to patterns that combine together to create information structure, focus, and flow in a text, including the semantic structure of text. Unit of texture refers to the way in which researchers such as patterns of cohesion create both cohesive and coherent text. Next is cohesion and discourse. Cohesion refers to the relationship between items in a text such as a word of phrase and clauses, and other items such as pronoun, nouns, and conjunction. The main patterns of cohesion are number one is reference. Reference is relationship between words and pronoun that refers to the word. Number two is collocation, words that commonly occur in the text. Conjunction, semantic relationship between clauses. Substitution, the way in which words such as one and two is used to substitute for other words in a text. And number five, ellipsis, the ways in which words or phrases are left out or ellipses from a text. Reference refer to the situation where the identity of an item can be retrieved from either within or outside the text. The main reference patterns are number one is anaphonic, where a word or phrase refers back to another word or phrase used earlier in a text. Number two is cataphoric, describe an item that refers forward to another word or phrase which is used later in the text. Number three is exophoric, look outside the text to the situation in which the text occurs for the identity of the item being referred to. Number four is comparative. The identity of the presumed item is retrieved not because it has already been mentioned or will be mentioned in the text. Number five. Homophoric. Yes. Homophoric, where the identity of the item can be retrieved by reference, the cultural knowledge in general rather than the specific context of the text. And the last is breaking, is where an item refers to something that has to inherently different from the text or situation, that is something that has to be presumed indirectly. The next is lexical cohesion, refers to relationship in the meaning between lexical item in the text and in particular contents, word, and the relationship between them. The main kinds of lexical cohesion are repetition, refer to words that are repeated in the text. Synonymy refers to words that are similar in the meaning. Anatomy describe opposite or contrastive meanings such as shy and forward in the text. Hyponymy is a less familiar term to most people that either synonymy or anatonymy, but it refers to a much more important sense relation. It describes what happens when we say an X is a kind of U. Meronymy is where lexical items are in a wall-to-part relationship with each other, such as the relationship between Jane and Stuart, a relationship in relation to the item couple. Next is collocation. What is collocation? Collocation are words that have almost the same meaning. There are various collocations from the combination of nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions that make up them. Some of which are noun plus noun. Example, a cup of tea. And then example, can I have a cup of tea? Or noun plus verb. The sun rise. Example, the sun rise in the east. There are two expectancy relation. This occurs when there is a particular relationship between a verb and either the subject or the object of the verb. And lexical bundles, multi-word combinations such as a result. And on the other hand, or if you look at, they occur in genres such as university textbooks, academic essay, thesis, and research articles. Next is conjunction. A further in which language contributes to the text of the text is through the function. Conjunction refers to words such as and, however, finally, and in conclusion, like to emphasize clauses or section of the text in such a way that they express the logic semantic relationship between them. There are categories of conjunction by Martin and Rose. Example, logical relation, addition. Example, addition, meaning addition. Example, and beside and addition. Logical relation, comparison, meaning similarity, contrast. Example, like, as, if. Contrast, example-nya but, winners. Logical relation, consequent, meaning cause. Example, so, because, since. And substitution and ellipsis. Substitution, I'm sorry, this word is wrong. Substitution is substitute form is used from another language item. Phrase or group, it can involve substituting an item for a noun. In the following example 1, substitutes for the noun book. Try reading this book. The one's not very good. Number 2 is ellipsis. With ellipsis, some essential element is omitted from the text and can be recovered by referring to a preceding element in the text. Ellipsis might involve the omission of noun or non-group, a verb or a verbal group, or a clause. It's different between reference, ellipsis, and substitution. The difference is the reference can reach a long way back in the text, whereas ellipse and substitution are likely limited to the immediately preceding clause. With reference, there is a typical meaning of co-reference. And the last is patterns of cohesion, a sample analysis of the following two paragraphs of Millen's Winnie the Pooh in terms of lexical cohesion and the main reference kinds in the section the text. So this is the example. I'll read. Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now, pam, 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 on the back of his head. Behind Christopher Robin, at least as far as he knows, the only way of coming downstairs, but sometimes he feels that there really is another way. If only he could not stop pumping for a moment and think of it, and then he feels perhaps there isn't. Anyhow, here he is at the bottom and ready to be introduced to you. Winnie the Pooh. When I first heard his name, I said just as you are going to say, but I thought he was a boy. From Winnie the Pooh by Milne. The text Tourists of the Pooh Properties published by Egmont, UK, London, and just with permission. In conclusion, discourse grammar as the label for a unified field which looks at discourse from the perspective of grammar and grammar from the perspective discourse. Discourse is understood as the domain of language use, with speakers making functional choice at all levels of structure, whether across sentence and larger unit boundaries, inside clauses and verse. And the last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.